The grandmother?
And yes, grandmother did. And my mother would wash that in the morning and iron it. And my mother, grandmother used to always wore this on her head, and she'd tie it under her chin. And there was a big safety pin that she used to put in it here. And when my mother would wash it and iron it, she would make sure to put that safety pin back.
And what did she make? What did she make her for breakfast? What was the special breakfast?
Her special breakfast, I think, especially pancakes. And the pancakes had lemon and something else covered the pancakes. And my mother would always make her a special. Oh, she'd add little things to it, that made it look good. But my mother always made her breakfast special. And she enjoyed that breakfast. And she would, my mother would tell her things that's happening around the neighborhood and that, because Grandma wasn't there to go out anymore. And of course, my mother would have a big conversation telling her everything. But my mother always kept grandmother up on things. My father never had that time to talk or tell her anything. But my mother always kept her informed. And she never made her feel as though she was an old lady.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah. She always made her feel as though she was capable of taking care of the children. And that she was, if she went to town, so to speak, at that time going to town was very kind of thing. And she said that she knew that the children were safe when Grandma was there. And even if Grandma wasn't able to walk, she felt that if Grandma was there, everything was all right.
I had a grandma like that.
And we had a workman, Peter Haley was his name. And my mother before she went to town, she would always make sure that Haley was around. Because Haley was the workman. And God forbid that we do anything wrong while Haley was there. He took care of the children like as if they were his own.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
What a nice childhood.
Well, little things like that makes life go round,
Well, you were saying that you enjoyed your Christmases and
my mother always felt good. Like my older brothers might fight. But if Haley the workman was there was no fight. My mother wouldn't go to town unless the workman was around the house. He wasn't to go out in the fields or anything. He was to work around the house so as that he'd keep my brothers from fighting or anything happening in the house.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. And he could always go for the neighbour, Mrs. Pete was our neighbour.
What was her name?
And if anything happened in the house, he knew that let Mrs. Pete know.
Mrs. Pete was Mrs.
They had no children, but like if Mrs. Pete was around, Haley would go for her. That was the
So that's
workman.
Mrs. Pete Scally.
Yes, that's right. And Mrs. Pete would always, she had a way with her. She wasn't bold with the children or anything, but you knew that if Mrs. Pete was coming, you would keep quiet. And a very nice
You were well brought
lady.
up.